Hi all and welcome to the Fantasy Premier League tips for Game Week 22. See, it's been a very interesting Game Week 21 for a lot of us, and a lot of Premier League managers thought that Manchester City defenders would definitely start. I'm talking about João Cancelo and John Stones, where a lot of people had those two players in the team, and you just never know with Pep, how he works and what kind of a rotation you can expect from him. So it was very interesting, and a lot of people actually had to call upon their bench, to give them points. But what we need to now understand is that what would be Man City's strategy for this game week. I mean, nobody knows, but we can only speculate. And how Mohamed Salah has been now he's suddenly looking like a force to reckon with in the last two games, the way he has played. So how good he would be, for fantasy managers to bring him back. So before we proceed forward, I would request you to share this content and also subscribe to our channel, because we would be providing you FPL tips for all the game weeks of Premier League. We are also into fantasy football tips of various teams when the matches are happening. So you can definitely check our YouTube channel and probably subscribe, so that you can also get to learn more about the FPL as well as Stream 11 teams. So now let's look at some of the highlights of Game Week 21. Now, when we talk about Game Week 21, I think two of the biggest players of Stone and Cancelo did not start for Manchester City, and that was actually a problem, right? And also it was interesting to see how Leicester City, got I would say a kind of a thrashing from a very impressive Leeds team, wherein Bamford got a goal and 2 assists against that team, and it was a phenomenal performance of Leeds. Callum Wilson also got back his, I would say, his season on track with 2 good goals against Everton. It was a very impressive victory for Newcastle away. And as we have said, that Salah scored 2 wonderful goals, and second goal was, it was one of the best team goals, or maybe one of the best counter-attacking goals you would see for a long time. Another great result for Brighton was Trossard, scoring against Tottenham, and that was a result which nobody expected. Brighton not only kept a clean sheet, but they won against Tottenham. So those kind of things were pretty interesting in the last game week. But if you talk about teams with easier fixture for game week 22, we see Liverpool is hosting Brighton. Now unfortunately, the Anfield was breached, by Burnley, but we do expect Liverpool to become stronger and stronger the way they have played. So I think they would be I would say a very big pick of actually securing an easy victory against Brighton home. And then obviously Manchester City going to Burnley. Now City, wherever they are going, whomever they are playing, they have to be the favourites the way they are playing right now. So we do expect City to do well against Burnley. Then Leicester City is also going to Fulham. Now Fulham looks like a team which is pretty impressive, and they don't justify their relegation, I would say, the situation which they are in right now, because they are putting in some impressive performances. But Leicester is pretty good on the road, and even though their stalwart is missing due to injury, I'm talking about JB Vardy, then Harvey Barnes and James Maddison are the players which can definitely give you good points in FPL. Now, if you talk about a couple of players which you can bring in for this game week, now the first player, and that is one of the most impressive players which I like from Arsenal, is Rob Holding. Now, Rob Holding has again come from, I would say, championship football in England, and now he looks to be one of the most focal points and the mainstay of Arsenal's defense. 18 games, 18 starts, 1575 minutes he has played. He's assisted 1 goal. More important, in the last, I think, 9 to 10 games, Arsenal have been able to keep 7 clean sheets. So Arsenal do defend really well now, and they look like a proper unit. So get this player in at 4.5 is an absolute steal. You don't have to think about anything. I think you definitely need to have Rob Holding in your team. And they are going to Wolves away, and Wolves also, I think Arsenal has the capability actually of coming out from that game with a clean sheet. Talking about another player, and the player who everybody spoke about in higher regards, was Dominic CalvertLewin from Everton. Now, unfortunately, he still is a force to reckon with, but his form has dipped considerably, right? And one thing which I would still like to remind to a lot of people is that he's still valued at £7.6, right? And that's a very cheap option if you consider how the valuation of different players are. and they are going to Leeds away. Now Leeds, even though they have got that impressive victory against Leicester, see, Leeds concede a lot of shots on goal. Their defense is pretty brittle. You can expect that Leeds would definitely concede in that game, and if they do, then you would expect Calvert-Lewin to be among the goals or maybe among the assists as well. Talking about another player who is actually now again in form is Ollie Watkins from Aston Villa. Again, the most important point is to see that this player is valued at just £6.3. Next fixture to West Ham home. Now I do expect Aston Villa to really get behind West Ham United and probably get some, maybe a 2-0 victory or a 3-0 victory. That's my assessment for this game week. And we believe that Ollie Watkins would definitely be the focal point in their attack. With 8 goals, 2 assists, he also takes a penalty. If El Ghazi doesn't start, then he's a penalty taker, along with maybe, we don't even know that Jack Grealish would take penalty or not, but Ollie Watkins has a high probability of actually being in that attack more often. And 22 shots on target, 24 chances created. I think he should be definitely be there in the team, considering he's only at 6.3. Now let's look at some of the captaincy picks for this game week. Now this game week is again, it's a very entertaining game week because it's a midweek. A lot of teams have played games almost all the time. They're playing. A lot of teams played FA Cup games, then they played Premier League games, and again a Premier League comes. But we would be focusing on a couple of players whom we believe would be the mainstay of the team for this midweek as well, and probably then you can make your choices as far as the captaincies are concerned. First player is obviously the signing of the season, and by far one of the better players of Premier League is Bruno Fernandes. 19 starts, 11 goals, 7 assists, 5 penalties, shots on target 22, but he has created amazingly 65 chances, and against a struggling Southampton team. See, Southampton was pretty close to top 4 if you talk about a couple of weeks when they defeated Liverpool and when they looked a very strong unit. But the last couple of games, I think Southampton kind of tapered off a bit, and Manchester United, after getting that, I would say, a disappointed draw against Arsenal, and before that a shocking loss to Sheffield, I think United would be firing all cylinders, and you can expect Bruno Fernandes to get those vital points for Manchester United. So definitely one of the captaincy picks you can consider. Another one is magnificent Mo. I would say that Mo Salah now looks, again, he is somebody who would definitely be close to 20-25 goals this season as well in Premier League. 15 goals already, 3 assists. He takes penalties for Liverpool. Now the best part is for Mo Salah is that he looks hungry. The team looks to be clicking again, and Liverpool had a very good transfer market wherein they have signed a couple of defenders yesterday on the deadline day as well. So now Liverpool would definitely look to press that I would say press the accelerator and try to fly again. One thing with Salah would be that since Mane is injured, Salah would be responsible for most of the goals that would be scored for Liverpool. So you can expect Salah to start in this game, and I believe that against Brighton, Liverpool would definitely get a lot of opportunities, and I expect Salah to even get a brace once again. Another player which we are going to talk about is Son HeungMin. Now Son HeungMin, the problem with Tottenham right now is that they have suddenly dipped. They are losing games left, right and center, not able to click as a unit, and to add to their misery, they have lost their talismanic captain Harry Kane, and that is another problem with Tottenham now, right? Jose Mourinho looks pretty I would say pessimistic on how Tottenham are playing, but I would say the most opportunistic thing would be that Son HeungMin would be among the goals whenever Tottenham would attack, because he would be now the main focal point for most of the Tottenham team, and they are hosting Chelsea. Now Chelsea has not got a real test still under Thomas Tuchel, so this would be the one game which I think Mourinho would definitely be keen to win and to put a kind of a statement in Premier League that Tottenham is there and it's still a force to reckon with. So I believe that Son HeungMin will definitely have opportunities to maybe score goals and to assist goal. And since there is no Kane, so most of the responsibility would lie on Son. However, there would be Bergwijn, I would say, or I'm not so sure that how much confidence Mourinho would have on Lucas Moura. So I believe that Son would be the main, I would say, player who would definitely be responsible for Tottenham to get over the line against Chelsea. Another player, one of the mainstays would be Ilkay Gundogan. See, Gundogan has actually started the most of the matches for Manchester City, even though there has been heavy rotation. See, Gundogan, we all know that he is a defensive midfielder, but the way he plays, the way he scores goals for Manchester City, it's an amazing, and this player is, again, it's a relatively cheaper player at just 5.8 of value. You don't expect, I mean, much more than a player at just valued at 5.8. See, with Kevin De Bruyne not in the team, Gundogan has a responsibility to take penalties also. He is the one who is mostly in attacks for Manchester City. So I believe Gundogan, with all his experience, with all his class, he takes those dipping free kicks or Cristiano Ronaldo free kicks also. I think Gundogan can be a solid captain option also for this game week, because they are again going to Burnley. Burnley is a team which is again looking brittle after that impressive victory against Liverpool. They have lost a couple of games now. So I think Gundogan is somebody whom I feel would be among the goals and somebody who you definitely need to take care of. So this is a game week 22 team which we have made, and if you can see in our team, we have backed both Stones and Cancelo in the team. The reason is because they have not played in the last game, so we strongly feel that they would be they would definitely be starting. That's what our gut feel says. Holding would definitely be there. Martinez obviously would be the keeper against West Ham United. We expect Aston Villa to have a clean sheet in that game. We have Bruno Fernandes, Salah, Gundogan, Rashford and Son. See, there was an inclination to let go of Rashford because of his poor form in the last couple of games. But I think Rashford is such a big player, and with now clock ticking, I'm pretty sure Rashford would be able to hit that form. Although he did well against Liverpool in the FA Cup game wherein he scored and assisted a goal. But in Premier League, it's not been so impressive for a player of his caliber. So we expect him to come back stronger. Forward line, we have Ollie Watkins. Again, as I've said, he would be having a lot of opportunities. Probably he would definitely be adding to the score sheet. And we have Bamford. Now Bamford unfortunately has a dead leg. He had a dead leg in the last game. He may come from the bench. There is I would say a 10-20% of chance, but more or less in such a big game, I do expect him to start. I do have a Callum Wilson also on the bench. I think Callum Wilson would be the one who definitely can be there in their team, but the problem which we had is that we had nobody to replace Callum Wilson with. So Wilson is definitely on the bench, and we have a couple of the defenders from Burnley also there on the bench. So that is our team for Game Week 22. I do hope that it adds more value to your team and you can make your choices wiser. Please ensure that you make those transfers in time, because the deadline is just some hours away. So all the best to you. I hope you do really well, and I wish you best for Game Week 22. Thank you.